Hey you guys, it's Anne Marie. Happy hump day. How's everybody doing? I'm going to do some readings later. But I do videos also to document things, just, to keep I'm glad I do it too. Especially since of what's happened today. I'm glad I started doing TikToks. And it wasn't just because of my readings, it was to get proof of gang stalking, get proof of the stuff that was happening in my apartment where I was legally evicted, and my trials and tribulations as I walk this spiritual path, right? Kind of all go together. And that's why I started doing these videos. And so here's another one. It's not that juicy, but it's really cool. So today, I wasn't going to post it. I wasn't going to do a video about this piece of it until it all came out. However, I'm just going to share with you. Hold on, I'm about to go tell. Okay, so we took the gravy train inside. It was getting a little chilly out, and I had to get out my work clothes. So I have to look at the video and see what I said. But anyway, you might hear Galaxy in the background. He's sneezing. He has a bad infection, but he's going to the vet next week. It was the earliest we could get in for the discount vet thing. But anyway, so I think I talked about, like, I do these videos for documentation. That's why I started doing TikToks. It wasn't necessarily for my readings and my spiritual path, but that my left ear's ringing. But that's what it turned out to be, because that's how I was led. But it was to document the gang stalking, people following me, the fucked up shit that was happening in my apartment when people tried to, poison me and kill me. You know what I'm saying? When they did all that shit to my house, I documented it all. And I did TikToks. And I didn't care if it only had one view. I had documentation of it. Especially when I was illegally evicted. So I was interviewed today by a newspaper. They video recorded it, interviewed me, and they even took pictures. And y'all, ain't gonna lie, ever since I was a little girl, I never wanted to be famous, but I always wanted to be on stage. Like, I always wanted to do impromptu and comedy. Like, I always wanted to do that and get my picture taken. Not in a vain way, but just because I liked doing that stuff as a little girl. And I totally forgot about it until the guy today, the photographer, and they both were amazing. And I'll wait till all this finally comes together before I divulge more information. But so we were doing pictures, and I was in the back alley against the light. Boys, like, can you give me a serious look? And I was like, scene. But I channeled that emotion of what it's been like these last couple fucking years, what's been happening to me. How I did everything right. And it didn't matter. They even took pictures of me in my car, because I shared with them how I lived in my car. How I'm helping people out of homelessness, and I'm facing it myself. And now the barriers are huge now, because now I have this eviction, even though it was illegal, and we talked about, and I told them about my TikTok, so they're going to be watching my TikToks. And I said, if you scroll, I said, it's going to be a while, but you got to scroll all the way down to when I was evicted in November. I said, there's tons of videos about the process, about court, about what happened, about every step of the way. And I said, and when you're in survival mode, because there were so many people like, you should just went to done this and talk to this lawyer and do that. I had nowhere to go and no food, and I had 2 cats. And in the wintertime, I never experienced it like this before. Someone with multiple college degrees, 30 years of professional experience. I've always worked. I've never been lazy, never been a gold digger, never done any of that shit. I've always taken care of myself. I've gotten help here and there, but since I got back to Columbus in 2015, it's been a total fuck show, and it's mainly because of my family. But, and so they did this amazing article. And so Sherry and Shelley, Sarah and Shelley at the Open Shelter were wondering when they were going to, when it was going to be posted, when they were going to do it. So I went back to talk to the reporter, she was just so kind and amazing, and the photographer, and asked him, I said, hey, they were wondering when you guys were going to post it. And she said, well, you know what? We were talking, and we're going to go back to the editor because we think this is a bigger piece. Your story and what's happened to you. And I said, you don't even know the half of it. And I see myself as this huge tree. And you just see this part of me, the outside, the trunk. and the leaves. But underneath the roots is my life and everything that's happened to me. I said it would be the best comeback story ever. And so they want to follow me and they want to dig deeper into my evictions and what's been happening to me. And we've been talking about this as light workers for some time, about the tables turning, about justice prevailing, about the scales tipping in our favor now. Justice. The Wheel of Fortune. And so layer by layer we peel back about my inheritance. Not just the illegal eviction, but how everyone's connected and I lost jobs. And how all of this has affected my life and created barrier after barrier. However, every time I keep coming back. So even by me sharing this, if someone would even call the newspaper and try to get it pulled, my story's already out there. A part of it. Let this be some hope for some of you. Justice and the truth always comes to light. The divine always makes sure. And again, like I said last night in my message, it didn't show up the way I thought it would. I definitely didn't think it would be a newspaper doing an article on me and how I became homeless and the injustices of the system and how I was treated by the system and by people closest to me and people who were supposed to support and help me, and idly sat by and watched people attack me and traumatize me and do wrong by me. It doesn't matter what's been said, how people try to defame me and lie about my character, because my behavior and my walk in everyday life shows who I am. Stay tuned for more. I am there's a few things I want to say, but may you be healthy and happy, full of joy. May you love and be loved. Heal. Don't harm.